the simple paint trick that makes old furniture look expensive. This one simple paint trick can make your old, beat-up furniture look like it came straight out of a five-star showroom. I'm talking scratched dressers, dull nightstands, and dated cabinets, turning into pieces that look like they cost thousands of dollars. Before we start, quick safety note. Always paint in a well-ventilated area, wear gloves, and keep pets and kids away from wet paint and open containers. Stick around because the biggest transformation secret comes later in this video. And if you skip it, you'll miss the exact detail that separates cheap-looking paint jobs from truly expensive-looking ones. This is not a complicated project, and you do not need any professional experience to pull it off. Hit subscribe right now so you don't miss the full reveal and the aftercare tips at the end. Let's get straight into it. First, let's talk about exactly what you need for this project, and I promise none of it will break your budget. You'll need a quart of mineral paint or chalk-style paint, and that usually runs around $18 depending on the brand and finish you choose. These paint types are ideal because they're thick, pigment-rich, and designed specifically for furniture surfaces rather than walls. Next is a bonding primer, which costs about $10, and this is the step almost everyone skips. And skipping it is exactly why so many paint jobs end up looking flat, patchy, or cheap. A good bonding primer grips onto glossy, laminate, or previously sealed surfaces, so your paint has something solid to hold on to. You'll also need fine, 220 grit sandpaper, which only costs a few dollars for a full multi-pack. This grit is fine enough to avoid gouging the surface, but rough enough to create the light texture your primer needs. Grab a soft foam roller for smooth, even coverage, and a small angled brush for corners and detail work, both together costing under $7. You'll need a tack cloth to lift fine dust after sanding, painter's tape to protect hardware or edges you don't want painted, and a matte or soft sheen top coat sealer, which usually runs around $12. This top coat is one of the most important items on this list, and I'll explain exactly why a little later in the video. Optional, but incredibly powerful, a set of cheap brass or matte black knobs, because swapping out old, dated hardware alone can nearly double the expensive, high-end look of the final piece. All in, this entire project typically costs less than $50, and it can completely transform a piece of furniture that would cost several $100s if you tried to buy something similar brand new. Now let's move into the actual step-by-step process, because this is where the real transformation happens, so pay close attention. Step 1. Clean the entire surface thoroughly with a damp cloth to remove dust, grease, and years of built-up grime. Old furniture often carries an invisible layer of oil and residue from years of hands touching it, spills, and general household use. If you skip this cleaning step, your paint will not bond properly, and you'll end up with peeling or uneven patches down the line. Let the surface dry completely before moving on to the next step. Step 2. Lightly sand the entire surface using your 220 grit sandpaper. You are not trying to strip the piece down to bare wood here, you're simply scuffing the surface so the primer has something to grip onto. Focus extra attention on any glossy or shiny areas, since smooth factory finishes are the hardest surfaces for paint to stick to. Once you've sanded the whole piece, wipe away every bit of dust completely using your tack cloth before moving forward. Skipping this dust removal step is another common mistake that leaves tiny bumps and imperfections trapped under your paint. Step 3. Apply a thin, even coat of bonding primer across the entire surface. As I mentioned earlier, this is the step that most quick tutorials completely ignore. And it's the #1 reason cheap paint jobs look blotchy, streaky, or uneven. The primer creates a smooth, uniform base across the whole piece, and it also blocks old stains, wood tones, or discoloration from bleeding through your fresh paint color. Use long, even strokes, and avoid going back over areas that have already started to dry, since that can create texture and drag marks. Let the primer dry fully, which usually takes around 1 hour, before touching the surface again. Step 4. Apply your first coat of paint using long, even strokes that follow the same direction as the wood grain. Use a light hand here, because thin coats always look more expensive and professional than one thick, heavy coat. Thick coats tend to pool in corners, drip along edges, and create visible brush marks, all of which instantly signal a cheap, rushed paint job. Work in small sections at a time and keep a wet edge as you go so your strokes blend together smoothly. Let this first coat dry completely, which usually takes about 2 hours depending on humidity and room temperature. Step 5. Apply a second thin coat, again following the natural grain direction of the wood. This second layer is where the color truly becomes rich, even, and fully opaque across the entire piece. Check for any thin or streaky spots and lightly touch them up before moving forward. Pause here and let it dry overnight if possible, because rushing this drying stage is genuinely one of the biggest mistakes people make on this project. Step 6, and this is the trick that changes absolutely everything. Once your paint is fully dry, take a dry brush with almost no paint on it and very lightly drag it over the raised edges, corners, and detail work. This technique is called dry brushing, and it mimics the natural, gentle wear you'd see on genuinely expensive, hand-finished furniture pieces. Use a slightly darker or lighter shade than your base color for this step, and only load a tiny amount of paint onto the very tip of your brush before wiping most of it off on a paper towel. This single move adds depth, dimension, and a sense of realism that flat, single-color paint simply cannot achieve on its own. Take your time here, and remember that less is always more with this particular step, since you can always add a touch more, but it's much harder to remove excess. Step 7. Seal the entire piece with your matte or soft sheen top coat. This step is completely non-negotiable if you want that expensive, finished look, because raw paint on its own tends to look flat, chalky, and noticeably low cost. The top coat adds a subtle, protective sheen that catches and reflects light the same way lacquered, high-end furniture does in a showroom. It also protects your paint job from scuffs, water rings, and everyday wear, which means your transformation actually lasts. Apply the top coat in thin, even layers using smooth strokes, and let it cure fully, usually around 24 hours, before placing anything on the surface. Step 8. Swap out the old hardware for fresh new knobs or pulls. Matte black or brushed brass hardware instantly signals a higher price point, even when it's attached to the exact same piece of furniture underneath. This tiny $5 to $10 swap has more visual impact per dollar than almost any other single change you can make on this entire project. If your new hardware doesn't line up perfectly with the old holes, a small bit of wood filler and a fresh drill point can solve that in minutes. Before you set your brush down for good, do a full walk-around inspection of the piece under bright, natural light if possible. Natural light shows every missed spot, uneven patch, or thin area far better than a dim room ever will. Check drawer fronts, table legs, and the underside of any overhangs, since these spots are easy to accidentally skip during the painting process. If you find any thin patches, a quick light touch-up coat now will save you from noticing it later once everything is fully sealed. Now, let's talk about the results, because this is genuinely where it gets exciting. Picture a dresser that started out scratched, faded, and looking like something you'd find abandoned on a curbside for pickup. After following these exact steps, that same piece now has a smooth, rich, matte finish with subtle dimension and highlighted detail along every edge and corner. The color looks deep, saturated, and completely consistent from top to bottom. There are no visible brush strokes, and the new hardware catches the light beautifully every time someone walks past it. Side by side, the before and after look like two entirely different pieces of furniture from two completely different price ranges. People who see the finished piece in person consistently guess that it costs 3 to 5 times more than it actually did, and many assume it was custom-made or professionally refinished. That's the true power of this simple paint trick, and it works reliably on solid wood, laminate, and even furniture that's already been painted once before. It also works beautifully on smaller pieces like side tables, picture frames, and cabinet doors if you want to start with something even quicker. Now let's break down why this actually works, because understanding the science behind it helps you get even better results every single time you try it. Expensive-looking furniture typically shares 3 specific qualities: a smooth, uniform base, controlled light reflection, and subtle depth or dimension across the surface. Your bonding primer creates that smooth, uniform base by sealing the surface and preventing old imperfections, stains, or discoloration from showing through your final color. Your matte or soft sheen top coat controls exactly how light reflects off the surface, and that controlled reflection is exactly what gives high-end furniture that soft, rich glow instead of a flat, plasticky, dollar store look. And the dry brushing technique creates real dimension by adding subtle shadow and highlight along raised edges, which tricks the eye into perceiving depth where there was previously only flat, single-tone color. This is essentially the same layering principle that furniture makers and finish carpenters have used for decades on premium, hand-finished pieces sold in high-end stores. Now you're using that exact same layered approach at home for well under $50 and just a few hours of hands-on work. Let's move into safety and a few extra tips to make sure your results turn out perfect every single time you attempt this. Always work in a well-ventilated room, ideally with a window open or a fan running, because paint and primer fumes can build up quickly in enclosed spaces. Wear gloves throughout the entire process to protect your skin from prolonged contact with paint, primer, and sealer. If you're sanding for more than a few minutes, wear a simple dust mask to avoid breathing in fine wood or paint particles. Keep all paints, primers, and sealers tightly sealed and stored in a cool, dry place, well out of reach of children and pets. If you're using any oil-based products, lay your used rags flat outside to dry completely before disposing of them, since bunched-up oily rags can pose a genuine fire risk. Always read and follow the manufacturer's instructions on your specific paint, primer, and top coat products, since dry times and application methods can vary between brands. Let your final piece cure for at least 72 hours before placing heavy objects on it or using it daily, because early heavy use can cause dents, indentations, or marks in fresh paint. Avoid placing very hot or very cold items directly on a freshly sealed surface for the first week or two, just to give the finish plenty of time to fully harden. One more pro tip: always test your paint color and your dry brushing technique on a hidden section first, like the back panel or the underside of the piece, so you can fine-tune your technique before committing to the visible surfaces. If you're working on a piece with intricate carvings or detail work, a smaller detail brush will give you far more control than trying to force a larger brush into tight spaces. Now let's talk briefly about why old furniture tends to look cheap in the first place, because understanding this helps you avoid the same mistakes in the future. Most mass-produced furniture uses thin veneers, glossy synthetic coatings, and mismatched, low-quality hardware that ages poorly and shows wear unevenly over time. That shiny factory finish eventually scratches, fades, and chips. And instead of aging gracefully the way real wood or hand-finished pieces do, it just starts to look dated and worn out. Mismatched or outdated hardware only makes this problem worse, drawing the eye directly to every scratch, dent, and imperfection instead of complementing the piece as a whole. This simple paint trick fixes all of that at once by replacing that cheap factory sheen with a controlled, layered matte finish that looks intentional, refined, and completely custom. That's exactly why this method works on almost any piece, regardless of its age, original style, or current condition. It's also why buying new, higher-end furniture can cost so much in the first place, since retailers are essentially charging you for that same smooth, layered, hand-finished look. You can now recreate yourself. Once you understand that the finish is doing most of the visual work, you start looking at every old, tired piece in your home as a potential project instead of something to throw away. Let's do a quick recap before you go try this yourself on your own furniture. Clean and lightly sand your piece. Apply a bonding primer. Add 2 thin coats of paint. Use the dry brushing technique along the edges for depth. Seal everything with a matte top coat, and finish it off with fresh, new hardware. That's the entire simple paint trick that makes old furniture look expensive, and start to finish. It costs less than $50 and just a few hours spread across a couple of days. If this video helped you, smash that like button so more people can find this easy, budget-friendly method. Drop a comment below and let me know which piece of furniture you're planning to transform first. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next budget transformation video from this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.